In marriage, status change taste.
Status
Change taste, yes.
yes.
So now, there are people who get married not knowing why they get married, who they get married to. Now, as they grow in life, status change. They begin to see that the wife they get married to yesterday is not in there today. Not even talk of their tomorrow. I don't know how, either spiritually or theologically, how we can correct that in our midst.
Status and taste. Let me quickly talk about that. Please let me charge all of us who are married. Study to know when your partner's level is changing. The challenge with many of us is that we grow older in marriage, and with the presence of progress in our careers, we still hold our partners to the way they were yesterday. Nothing makes your partner to begin to resent you like treating a person that the world honors now as someone who lacked value yesterday. So the way we put it is this: the world can be celebrating me this large and you shrink me this small. Husbands are to love their wives, wives are to submit to their husband. Let's go back to Genesis. It is important for you to know that the Bible says he will make him a wife that is help meet. Is that okay? As a wife that is a help meet, meaning you should always figure out at all time what kind of help does he need, when. Now, how do I treat him when? Now, how do I treat the woman I married, the small girl that I married who had nothing yesterday, but now she has staff, she has people working for her? How do I treat that woman? How do I treat my partner? No longer a girl, she's now the mother of my children. How do I treat someone who, when I married you, you were not even born again, or you were born again, but you were just a church member, but now he is a pastor? How do I treat my partner when God has lifted them up? A man that is in honor and doesn't know he's in honor will die like a beast. Similarly, a partner whose partner is in honor and the partner fails to realize that your partner is in honor, or chooses to refuse to accept that my partner has been honored, and I'm still looking at you through the lenses of yesterday, you will eventually run that marriage relationship into problem. And don't forget this: everybody moves towards where they are expanded. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
Every one of us gravitate towards people who expand us, not people who shrink us.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't have, look at this. Do you know how far I have come? Do you know the nights of labor, trainings and courses that I went for? Do you know the road that I followed to get to where I am, from my primary school days, my university? Do you know what I went through to get to where I am? And then I will now have a wife at home who treats me like trash. Wait a minute. First question you need to ask yourself: am I being responsible at home? Yes. Do I provide at home? Yes. Am I misbehaving? No. Am I immoral? No. So why are you treating me like trash? The idea in many of us who grew up being subjugated is that nothing around us must be expanded. People that grew up from abusive backgrounds, where everybody always wants to trample on you, insult you, one of the things we found out about them is that when they are around you, they will intentionally fail or refuse to acknowledge what God is doing in your life. Because in their mind, if they praise you, if they acknowledge you, one, they feel they will lose you. Number two, they feel that you may eventually insult them. So anything around them that wants to get bigger, they shrink it. Because in the past, every big thing tramples on them. So it's a coping mechanism. Listen, singles who are here, please let me beg you. One thing I will beg you, and I hope you don't remember it in marriage. Please, anybody who comes from a broken background, anybody who comes from a battered past, anyone who has been abused, anyone physically, emotionally, verbally, sexually, anyone who has been abused that you think you are in love with, please, marriage should not be the first thing. Get the person through therapy. Don't take for granted the dysfunctional parts of people. It will hurt you badly in marriage. The worst thing you can live with is somebody from a broken past who has refused to be healed. The person will break you. So when status change, it is expected For instance, your husband begins to travel. He goes for conferences. He stays in hotel, goes abroad. They serve him inside the plane. He's even started flying business class, or your wife is flying business class. Now, it matters how you treat the person at home. It's not a case of pride. For instance, I travel places now, and the first thing they bring to me is not just pap and akara. They bring appetizer. Then after you finish that, they also give you dessert. Okay? My wife did something that God will forever bless her for.
Amen.
I'm telling you, the first time I traveled, I've shared that story to you, the first time ever, when I left Nigeria to the United States, she would call me, how are you doing? Me, I didn't know what she was doing. How are you? I said, fine, thank you. So, okay, so what have you taken? I said, no, I'm this morning I'm just having something, and I mentioned things like maybe muffins or stuff like that. And then she asked me, okay, what are you taking? Oh, I'm taking this. I said, I'm taking broccoli. I fell in love with broccoli. She said, I said, broccoli, yeah. So, to cut a long story short, the moment I arrived back in Nigeria, my wife said, how are you? Was it a day or 2 days after? Barely a day or 2 days after. My wife said, sorry, can we go to farmer's market? I said, where's farmer's market? I didn't know where farmer's market was. So we drove, she says, in Maitama. We got around Maitama, we asked people, and they said, that's the market there. I said, what are we doing here? She said, sorry, sir, when I get broccoli. And my wife started asking for everything I have mentioned. You know what? She has realized that my taste has been altered. Her job is to make sure that my exposure is not damaged at all.
Yes, sir.
So broccoli now became a regular part of our diet. As your partner rises, husband or wife, please do not be the only one that keeps them where they used to be. Otherwise, you will soon lose them.
This is very powerful. It is just a message for partnership, for marriages. Now, the challenges most of marriages have, I think, is lack of respect for your partner. Because if you respect your partner, if you love your partner, I don't think there's any reason why you will not support your partner. Now, for example, take a man. A man is a manager in his organization, has a lot of workers under him, both females, both males, female, male, all workers. Every like 30, 40, 50, 60 workers under him. And they give him maximum respect, as their bosses, as their boss. They respect him. They try to value him, But when the man comes home, when the man comes home, he might not have that kind of respect from the wife. The wife will just overlook at him, see him as that man he got married to yesterday. In fact, even some wives will even see their husband lesser. Now, if you are productive at home, you provide at home, you are responsible, you care, there is no reason why your partner will downgrade you. There's no reason why your partner will see you less. There's no reason why your partner will see you and see you as a disgusting person. Then there's a problem somewhere. Now, it's also applicable to the female folk. You have a better position. Your status have changed. It's no longer the lady you used to know or you married those days. Now, her status have changed. She's now a responsible worker, a worker that is responsible, that has a lot of that has been promoted time to time, and at the end of the day, all you do is to see her. Is it not the lady I married? I beg, forget about her. What this man is saying is very simple. As you grow in life, status change. And as status change, you have to treat your partner based on the status. And that is the only way you can have a better marriage. Yes, your husband is your king. Your husband is your king. Respect and value your husband. Your wife is your queen. You cannot see a queen outside and disrespect a queen. It's not possible as a man. You see, wow, this woman is a queen of a particular kingdom, a particular land. Can you disrespect such a person? No, it's not possible. So if you see your wife as a queen, you don't disrespect her. You value her, you love her, you care for her. In fact, you see there's a transition for every being. As you grow old, there's a transition. As the transition is, as you are growing old and this transition is taking place, what is expected of you is very simple. Follow the trend. What does this man want? How do I please this man? What does this woman want? What do I do to make her happy? Are you telling me if you have this kind of good nature, good character, the loving nature, the loving character, a better way of marriage, are you telling me you have any single problem in your marriage? The answer is no. You can't be praying, God, what kind of marriage is this? What kind of life is this? Blah, 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 blah. My marriage is dying and you are not doing what is right. Yeah. You cannot plant maize and see the produce and when the thing springs up, it produces cassava. It's not possible. It is what you sow, that's what you reap. If you sow good character, good behavior, understanding your spouse's transition, following them the way it's supposed to be, caring for them, you will not have a problem. Not every man that is stupid, that cheats. Some don't have care. I'm not supporting them. They don't have care. They don't have any problem. Care from their partner. In fact, they are being treated like a trash. And you can't kill yourself. You can't. You see them misbehaving. Behaving based on how they are being treated. Please, let's make our life, our marriages, our home work. It's not about blame game. You blame. You want to blame this partner. You want to blame. It's not about blame game. Blame game destroys marriage. Accept reality. If you know you are faulty, apologize. Yes, to your partner. Very important. Shalom.